That shows how thick the gold plating is on those fingers. Some fingers you'll... Hey folks, welcome back to KKR Renewables Metal Recovery channel. Today we have a Cisco IAT 2900 series. I'm not sure what an IAT device is, but this one came in on the e-waste truck and we're going to go ahead and take it apart. So let's get into it. A lot of dust in here. Let's go ahead and blow all that dust out so we can get a better look. Alright, right out of the gate, I see gold corner BGAs, I see four-sided flat packs, I see the thin flat packs and a couple thick flat packs, I see a crystal oscillator, one gold edged crystal oscillator, and one of the square regular crystal oscillators, memory cards, slots, tantalum capacitors, copper coil. Alright, let's take this thing inside where we have a little bit better view of it. Alrighty, here we are back inside at the workbench, and I see here we have thick flat packs and thin flat packs. I really like the thin flat packs because I've got a really good sense of how many grams of gold I can get out of a kilogram of thin flat packs. If you're interested in seeing that, I have a thin flat pack video that I did several months ago. Just check out my playlist and you can see that. I'm currently doing a batch of thick flat packs. Of course, I don't expect the yield to be as great on those per weight because, as you'll find out when I release the video, there's a lot of metal that is inside these thick flat packs. A lot of heat spreaders, thick copper heat spreaders, and other not so thick yet still heavy heat spreaders as well. So let's see here. In this particular device we have a crystal oscillator, two crystal oscillators at least. There might be some more. There's a gold band crystal oscillator. As you know, we like those a lot on this channel. Here we have a copper toroid, another copper toroid, some what looks like to be pretty nice aluminum. Pull that off. Alright, so in here we have some really nice aluminum heat sinks. Here we have two memory sticks as well. Sometimes these memory sticks will have silver plated fingers, but these are all gold, thankfully. And if you feel across them, you hear that? That shows how thick the gold plating is on those fingers. Some fingers you'll find have almost no gold plating. They are golden in color, not as nice as this, but they are golden in color. But when you run your finger across it, you can't even feel that there are different fingers. These, I can feel each and every one of those individual gold fingers there. These are going to be really nice to get the gold recovery from. Same with this one. You can hear that. Really nice. Those are the types of memory sticks you really want to look for. All right, let's go ahead and get this board out. We're gonna take off the connections for the fans. Looks like pretty much everything else is screwed down. We've got the power supply connector here. These connection pins are gonna be tinned copper if you're interested in pulling that kind of stuff off. All of these will be tinned copper as well. Let's go ahead and get this power supply out of here. Take a closer look at it. So again, here we have aluminum heat sinks, nice sized copper toroid. There's copper in these transformers as well. They are usually copper wire wrapped around paper, and it takes a very, very long amount of time to get the copper out of there. So I tend to let those go to the large refiners. Here we have an IC chip. This looks like perhaps a fuse, a resettable fuse, ceramic capacitor. There's nice copper in there. I'll get that copper out as well. Another smaller copper toroid. You've seen me take apart power supplies before. If not, check out my playlist and you'll see one where I go into detail about what's inside these power supplies. There's gold bond wires, there's silver inside these relays here. I'll get that out as well. There's aluminum, there's copper. There's good stuff on power supplies. So if you have the time, don't neglect your power supplies. Okay, let's go ahead and get this board out of here. All right, let's take a little closer look at this. Hopefully this is still in focus. I've got BGAs here and here, gold corner BGA there. Here are the flat packs I was mentioning earlier. There's a thicker flat pack and these are thin flat packs. I've got resistors, MLCCs, tantalum capacitors, and of course I've got my gold pins. Let's flip this over and see if we get lucky and there's anything on the back side as well. All right, there are a lot of little tantalum capacitors on here. There's some nice sized MLCCs. If we get lucky, there might be some silver in those. Here's the yellow and black tantalum capacitors. There's a nice large black tantalum capacitor. So I'll hit this with a heat gun and I'll get every bit of this off of here. I won't take the inductors, these little black components here. These have a little bit of copper in them, but not much else. I don't know what these are. If anybody wants to look that up and tell me what those are, I'd love to know. I'll take a detailed picture and I'll insert it so that we can take a better look and a closer look together, and we'll circle some components as you've seen me do before. All right, I also like these. Not sure get that out. That didn't want to come out. Whew. Oh, it's taped, I see. This is another 64 meg memory module. There are really nice gold pins on the inside of these memory modules. All right, that's about it for this device, other than taking the close-up pictures. We'll do that shortly. I did want to add one more thing. We often wonder what is a high-grade board, a mid-grade board, and a low-grade board. We tend to do that when we want to sell our boards to a board buyer. We want to be able to tell that board buyer in good faith that we have X number of pounds or X number of kilograms of high, low, or medium grade boards. This is definitely a high grade board. It's also referred to as a telecom board. In fact, that's exactly what it is. It's from a telecom device. It's a high grade board because it has a good number of these 4-sided flat packs, gold corner BGAs, non-gold corner BGAs, 2-sided flat packs, some copper, and a good amount of MLCCs and resistors. These small resistors contain silver, and from my understanding, ruthenium as well. But primarily, what the board purchasers are looking for are these ICs, because they are the largest amount of gold recovery, precious metal recovery on the board. There's a lot of copper tracing throughout the board as well. This board by itself, once it's completely stripped, is still going to be worth money because there's such a significant amount of copper on the board. Okay, that wraps this up. I hope everyone's enjoyed this and got a little something out of what to look for in the Cisco IAT 2900 series. In the upcoming series of still pictures, you should be able to zoom in on the motherboard and some specific components that you might find pretty interesting. I find them pretty interesting, and I've labeled them to help you identify them on your own journey of depopulating these boards. Here we have the Cisco 2900 IAT motherboard. Feel free to pause the video and zoom in and take a look at some of the specific components. In this picture, I'm highlighting 2-legged flat packs. They contain gold, and I'm also highlighting 2 separate crystal oscillators which contain silver. This picture highlights BGAs and gold corner BGAs. BGAs will contain the highest gold per weight of IC chips. Gold corner BGAs also contain some silver. I'm not sure what these are. I think the L indicates that they are inductors and therefore have copper but no precious metals. If anyone knows better, please let me know. This picture identifies additional 2-legged ICs and also the black tantalum capacitors which contain silver. The box at the bottom shows MLCCs whose component names on the board start with an L. I believe these are inductors and they would contain no precious metals. Here's a great picture of the Amphenol gold-plated pins. These of course contain gold, and they're pretty decent sized for the pins. There's several different ways to process these pins. If you choose to process these pins with the acid solutions, you'll find very nice gold foils for each one of these pins. And last but not least, we have a picture showing the gold band crystal oscillators. These contain gold and silver. And in the left-hand side, we've got the resistors, which contain silver and, to my understanding, ruthenium. And also in the upper right-hand corner, some examples of some smaller tantalum capacitors.